This is Kamala, disciple of Paramhansa Yogananda and minister of the Self-Realization Fellowship. The talk today on words comes from an article which I wrote several years ago for our Self-Realization Fellowship magazine, expressing an idea which I found helpful in my own experience. The language of some of the tribes of American Indians is surprisingly limited. One word suffices for numerous articles. Any candy, for instance, of which we have dozens of varieties, goes by one word. Also, one word is used to signify anything made of flour. A donut, bread, cake, pastry, biscuit, all will be given one name, which means flour. Increased vocabulary means advance in civilization, but does not always mean advance in spirituality. By watching the words which come most frequently to our minds and occasionally into our conversations, we will find an interesting key to our thoughts. Every business has its own complete vocabulary of words which are necessary to it, just as pots and pans are to cooking. To the businessman, there are invoices, orders, files. The mechanic has his pliers, welding torch, and so forth. The housewife her curtains, linens, rugs, and on indefinitely into every phase of life. The paint and brushes of the painter, the lens, camera, films of a photographer. The lawyer will have legal terms which may be unknown to the textile expert, and the engineer will be familiar with words which a doctor may seldom have occasion to use. Words pertaining to our line of work must be used during hours of work, but we can try to get away from them at other times. For whatever our work, we can and should make thoughts of God so much a part of some time of our day that these other spiritual words become deeply etched in the physical brain. There is in everyone a need to know and remember the words which take the mind from finite things, from mortal, perishable things, to the immortal realities which belong to every man. It has been said that the average man thinks always in terms of common nouns such as house, book, table, box, hat, and so forth, while the above-average individual thinks most frequently in terms such as courage, loyalty, kindliness, beauty, and so forth. And the great saints dwell with the concepts of nouns such as immortality, eternity, omnipresence, God, Spirit. We become companions to those who talk and think about the same things which we do, those who have similar interests. So we may become companions to the great men, the seers and saints and rishis of all ages, when we drop for a time our usual vocabulary and think in the great terms which carry men in thought far beyond time and space into immortality.